War is hell. Lucifer took Jumala's domain and renamed it Hell, a word chosen to spite the other 99. The place itself was west of Tartarus and had always been part of the Malefax, the domain of evil in heaven, an almost separate plane. He purged those still loyal to the human god, replacing them with his allies and lackeys. He anointed Mara and Miligarn as his archdukes of hell. This struggle was called the Reckoning of Hell. Many different titles and devils were engaged in all sorts of triumvirates and tetrarchies, but by the end, it had a new hierarchy, valid at least to the Fifth Age. There are now 7 leaders, one for each circle of hell, and each is given the title Duke of their respective layer. They are split up into Dukes of Hell, of which there are 4, who are not gods, who owe their allegiance to the next higher office. This office is the Archduke of Hell, of which there are 2, who must be gods, who owe their allegiance to the next highest office, the Prince of Hell, who is the chief god of the pantheon of hell. This status will always be obeyed, rites will always be initiated, and tributes will always be paid. But these beings may be in open war with their superior or inferior. They may double-cross and constantly plot. They justify it to one another as, "You have gone beyond your mandate." Lucifer once acted as a mediatory body between Mara and Miligarn, but once his powers coalesced, they named him their lord. Mara and Miligarn are in a state of permanent Cold War, which has resulted in strange bedfellows and politickings. For example, Mara and the Syrinx's bitter rivalry is so famously well known that the Syrinx and Miligarn became soft allies. The first circle of hell is Lust, ruled by Duchess Lamia, who owes her allegiance to Mara. The second circle of hell is Greed, ruled by Duke Mammon, who owes his allegiance to Mara. The third circle of hell is Illusion, ruled by Archduke Mara. The fourth circle of hell is Obedience, ruled by Duke Asteron, who owes his allegiance to Miligarn. The fifth circle of hell is Ambition, ruled by Duke Belphegor, who owes his allegiance to Miligarn. The sixth circle of hell is Authority, which is ruled by Archduke Miligarn, also called Miligarn. The seventh and final circle of hell is Subterfuge. Subterfuge is the undisputed domain of Prince Lucifer, who is the only authority that hangs over the 2 archdukes, Mara and Miligarn. Lucifer didn't inherit all of Jumala's power. The god Mkumbu sat as the temporary chief of gods and acted as judge at Lucifer's trial. The verdict was trial by combat. In this duel, 6 gods, whose names and deeds have largely been lost, died. One was said to have been Friendly Fire, but they managed to banish Lucifer, Mara, and Miligarn to their estates in hell. Hell became a place strictly of evil and split from heaven. The resistors were largely destroyed, the flora and fauna changed, and there was a very intense hierarchy, rife with corruption and Machiavellian scheming. Melek-Tas rose to the front, and he became the new permanent chief of the 99 during their various meetings. He gained a lot of power, and he satiated everyone by becoming the patron of balance and compromise. He elevated 7 of his angels to godhood to assist him: Kyla Zurangtan, Eshu Mikhail Smira, Raphael Serpia Ziwa, Rakras Kazan Adriel, Muzania Sam Cassiel, Gabriel Mana Duel, and Barachael Turek Abatur. He finally answered the question, what do we do with the mortals? He constructed Naraka. Naraka is a place in the Black Dungeons where the faithless are tested in ironic and painful ways, and walk the porcelain roads when they pass. Melek-Tas feared the gods would misuse this power. After all, the binding ritual was still not understood even by the gods at this time. There was not yet a mark on the soul to decide who belonged to whom. So, a mortal would only enter Naraka if, for whatever reason, they genuinely believed that they belonged there. They may only leave upon divine intervention or self-acceptance. Yet, the gods became so adept at filling you with guilt that they can effectively send you to Naraka. The war now turned in favor of the primordials. The Age of Giants, which had once seemed to come to a close, was now merely in halftime.